What up, y'all? Kiwi here. First things first, I gotta say, I hope y'all are doing well. Today's been a pretty big week for us. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Our first 1,000. Thank you guys all for your love and support. It means the world to us. Me and Jinton really do appreciate y'all. And so for this week, we said that we'd be making it a PSA week. We'd be showing you our return as well as showing you how to submit your own card so that you guys could potentially double your money or your investment in Pokemon, okay? So there are a few questions that this video is going to be geared towards answering, all right? But before I get into it, I just want to say, again, I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for checking out the video. And if there's any questions that you do have post-video that you need or that you feel like I didn't cover it, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. And if you did find it helpful, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, and then let me know what else you would like to see for how to. So this is basically going to be how to grade or submit your cards. This is the PSA edition, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes, and how to submit them, because the process is not too long, but it is a little confusing for somebody who's never accessed or used the website before, okay? So question one, what does it mean to grade or submit your card to PSA? All right, grading a card is basically, the bare minimum is two things that goes into that process after you submit the card. It goes into them authenticating the card, which means that they're making sure it's fake, because believe it or not, fake cards are a real thing. People do get scammed, people lose a lot of money, and this is one way for people to protect themselves from being a victim of a scammer, which is, really important. Nobody wants to lose money, all right? So after authenticating the card, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to give it a grade on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the poorest, 10 being the best, like from PR poor to fair, excellent, near mint, mint, or gem mint, which is 10. Again, this is all PSA. And right after this, I'm going to tell you, I'll explain a little bit more about PSA. And then that overall grade is based on 4 subgrades, all right? Edges, corners, surface, and centering, So I'm going to show you as we roll into the next screen. This is just a little, like a brief intro. Those 4 subgrades basically roll into or contribute to what the card's overall grading will be. This video, we're going to be using PSA, like I said, because I just use PSA and I feel that they're the most, they're the most influential in the market in terms of graded cards or trying to sell graded cards. Personally, or what I see a bigger percentage of the market looking at is PSA. Now, there are 3 main companies for grading cards. Like I said, PSA, Beckett, which is BGS, and CGC, okay? PSA is the one I turn towards, but there are pros and cons to everything. I personally like how their slab looks. They were the first grading company I owned, with a slab. Sorry for those of you who don't know what the word slab means. Slab is just referring to the actual encapsulation of the card. The card in its basically encapsulation plastic piece. I'm going to show you in a second. BGS being the next best in my opinion. Now BGS is very selective. Beckett, the thing with Beckett is there's 2 key differences that I think make Beckett the next go-to. One being that they offer the subgrades. On the label itself that you will see in the top, I don't have a Beckett slab myself, so I would have to show you on Google, which I will in a minute, that they individualize each subgrade and show you each grade per category on the actual label in the slab, which is pretty good because, people look for different things. One of the key things that a lot of people look for, especially when you're looking at the front, is centering and surface. You're able to see scratches or blemishes in a hollow foil pretty quick, if they're deep enough or big enough. And then obviously if a card is a WotC card and the borders are pretty prominent, you're gonna see if something is off-centered, okay? So people look towards seeing those subgrades. CGC does offer that as well. So that is one pro for CGC and BGS. The next thing with BGS is that they offer something called a black label, okay? Black label is basically given to a card that receives a pristine 10. Pristine 10 meaning it has a 10 in every subcategory. It is as perfect as they come, as perfect as they get. And generally speaking, those populations are really low. Population meaning the overall count of cards in that graded category for that specific card. So if there's 5 BGS black label 10 black label Charizards, it's gonna be pop 5. So people would say if somebody says to you, oh, this is like pop 2, pop 1, pop 3, it means that there's 3 in the entire population. Okay, so that is to try to give the buyer or potential buyer the idea, or narrow it down to really how rare is the slab that they're looking at. Okay, the next and the third is CGC, which they primarily were a comic book grading service, but they expanded their horizons. They moved into trading cards. They don't do Yu-Gi-Oh, so they stick to Pokemon. For them, again, one key difference is that they have subgrades for their slabs, for their labels that come in the slab, which is the top, which identifies, authenticates, it gives it a barcode, it gives it everything it needs so that it logs into their database so that somebody can look it up. So they offer subgrades again, which is very nice. The next thing is that CGC, when it does get a perfect 10, and I don't have a CGC slab yet either, I stick to PSA. It's just what I do. You know, I've always used them, so I continue to use them. If a CGC card gets a 10, it says perfect, and the numbers are gold, or at least yellow. You know, like the 10 will come in a beautiful yellow / goldish color, which, you know, just separates it from the rest of the slabs. You know, if you lined up a couple of slabs where all the stickers were blue and then you see the numbering yellow, it's like, whoa, look at that. And then when you look at it again, you're going to say, holy smokes, that's a 10, you know? So that's the key differences, like pros and cons between, you know, PSA tends to dominate the market. BGS has something called a black label, and it has subgrades. And I did forget to mention, black labels, because they're so low pop, tend to go for like significantly higher amounts than a general pop 10. Than a general gem mint 10 in PSA. This is because, again, PSA doesn't offer the subgrade, so you can have like 10, 10, 10, 9.5, but you wouldn't know, right? You're just saying, oh, it's a PSA 10. But BGS handing you a black label card specifies, listen, you've got a 10 in every category. The slab you're holding in your hand is very special, all right? So, I hope that these few minutes have identified and like isolated and answered the questions that you were asking me. And the primary reason, again, for us to even look into grading cards is that you want to keep the hobby going for you. You don't want to keep pouring in money and you're constantly finding yourself in a hole, all right? Sometimes, you know, I'll give you an example. I open a crap ton of Champions Path, all right? I didn't get much. I got 2 Rainbow Rare Charizard VMAXs. Now I have one in a PSA 10 and one in a PSA 9. The PSA 9 goes for about $300 to $400. The PSA 10 being $700. Now, if I had went and bought a case for $800, now if I got one Charizard and I graded that one Charizard and sold it at $700, my loss would only be $100. But at a loss of $100, I got to keep every other card that I got in that case minus that Charizard. Now, I mean, and then the $50 graded. And then, you know, you're going to say, well, the Charizard is the card you want to keep. A lot of people can't really continually spend the money. And so this is one way to mitigate the costs. All right. It's kind of time consuming because you have to wait on the whole grading process. But in the end, you know, at least you're able to buy again. Or, you know, what if you pull 2 like me? Look, now I have the option of selling my 9 because I have a perfect one. I'm going to keep my perfect one, sell my 9. And it's going to cut my losses on Champions Path, which is amazing, all right? Nobody wants to lose, all right? So let's roll into the next screen really quick. All right, guys. So as you can see, I was just going through some things prior to actually opening up this screen and recording this video. Now, there's 2 main things or sites that I use when I am trying to create a submission for PSA, okay? So really quickly, for those of you who didn't see it before, all right? Now, when we're looking at the BGS card, you can see here that it has the subgrades right here, okay? Subgrades, like I said, centering, corners, edges, surface, and then it identifies the actual card. This is the 2016 Evolutions pre-release Charizard, okay? The numerical number that you see here is going to match the actual number of the card it is in the set. And it's a holographic card. Here's the grade, and then the condition, that the actual worded condition that it is giving it, and then its identification number, okay? So that's just to give you guys an idea of what you're looking at, okay? Now, I've already created 2 submissions right here, but what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to create one more, and I'm going to show you guys how to combine shipping or combine your orders into one package, okay? So the cards that you see on screen here, these 4, were already put into already completed at different shipping services. These are at regular, these are at express. Each one has a different value or charge. What I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to basically create an order for these two with you guys on screen. Okay, so the two cards you guys do see is going to remain on screen right here in the bottom left, and I'm going to show you how to first create the submission for these two cards. All right, so when you guys come up to the PSA homepage right here, what you're going to be seeing is this page right here. Now obviously, you know, you have to have an account. I've already got an account logged in. All right, so we're gonna go to click, after you create your account, you're gonna go to this big green thing right here that says submit. After you're there, it's gonna tell you build your card submission, online submission center. That's exactly what you're gonna be using today. Okay, so these are my two. I'm gonna start a new submission for you guys, and the first thing it's gonna ask you at the first part of the submission is item type. If you're doing Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc., what we are doing is regular or small size cards. They've got a bunch of other things here. Oh, that's where supersize is right there. Jumbo card, supersize. I'm looking into grading the supersize cards or jumbos. All right, so we're going to be doing regular small size cards. We're going to hit next. We're going to be into our second part of the submission, which is, or step, which is submission type. Okay, if you have any other questions aside from what you're doing, here it is. Like, which one would you be choosing? I'm choosing grading, obviously. All right, so this is the standard authentication, right? Authentication and grading service. Review, right? And then PSA certified red label must be submitted under review service. Review any PSA graded items that you feel warrants a different grade. So this is for regrading purposes. Now, if a crossover means that you're bringing in the card from maybe BGS or CGC and you wanted it instead in a PSA slab, so you would suggest this, and basically they'll just regrade the card and put it in their own slab. And then reholder, if for some reason that the card was the slab was damaged or etc., they'll redo the slab for the card. I think if you had it after a certain amount of time, you do have to pay a small fee. But for us today, we're going to be clicking grading. All right, so now when we look into the grading services available, there's also autograph authentication. Now, for those of you who are lucky enough and rich enough, you got them Charizard signed by Mr. Arita himself. I don't have one of those yet. And what they do make available in terms of service is the authentication of the signature itself, as well as a grade for the signature. You know, he draws his little artworks, etc. But for me, what we're going to be doing is just authenticating the card and grading the card, right? So we don't need autograph, grade, or authentication. And if you guys scroll through, you'll see like dual services, which ones are being offered per that category or click. All right. So now this is something that might become a little confusing for some of you, but this part is very important. Now, this is what's going to determine your values. I think there was one prior to this called economy, but PSA did remove it because they're just way too backed up. So in these scenarios, what we do use is eBay. Okay. But I'm just going to show you how and why. Now, the service that you're going to be paying for or using is based on the declared values of the item. Now, declared value, that's a little iffy. A declared value, what they're asking you is if there is ever a claim, like maybe the box or something was lost in transit, you know, they want to know the maximum value for shipping insurance purposes. Okay, they're going to insure the package both ways. Well, you are, and they need a declared value so that if something was to go wrong, insurance pays you out the right amount. Okay, so what you need to do is do your best to assume the grade based on the categories I told you. You know, if you need to do some more research, you can YouTube, you know, like light play, damage, heavy play, you know, near mint, mint, very light play, things like that, to, you know, help you kind of narrow down on your assumed grade. It'll take a little bit to learn. If you guys do want, let me know in the comments. I'll make a video on how to judge or assume condition of a card. Hopefully that might help you figure out which grading service you need to use. Now, you can always just go for the higher one, even if it's less. So I'm just going to go for, I hate when it does this, sorry. I'm just going to go for the regular service available, okay? So now we're going to hit next, okay? So now this is the important part. It's going to go to item entry. Now, this is how you're going to identify the individual cards that you guys do see on screen, okay? looking at this, for those of you who don't know how to identify your cards, believe it or not, some people have cards and they don't know the sets that they are from. So if you look up before, this was me looking up a Scyther that I did do in this submission. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna do Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends. So we're gonna say Mewtwo GX Rainbow Rare PSA, right? All right. So the listing should come up all over the place. Hopefully, you know. Which one is our closest one? Did I spell Mewtwo wrong? Yes, I did, guys. Derp. Mewtwo GX Rainbow Rare PSA. Come on. It can't be that hard. All right, so you know what? Let's just go into the first one right here, which was this bad boy. Okay, so we got Mewtwo and Mew GX, same card that you guys see on camera from Unified Minds. And basically what we're doing right here is not only using this information to kind of figure out a declared value based per grade, but we're also getting the information on this label that you see here to actually look up the card in the PSA database so that we can enter it as an item, okay? So what do we see here? What do you guys see? Obviously, they do the year of release, the set or expansion it's from, and then it says F.A, that refers to full art, Mewtwo, and Mew GX, okay? The number that you see on the right, number 242, is the actual card number that you're going to see on the bottom of the card right there. You see it, 242. So let's do it really quick. 2019 Pokemon Sun and Moon. We're going to type that out. All right. So 2019 Pokemon Sun. I guess they take this as Sun and Moon. Right. And then let's see if 242 pulls it really quick. There we go. See, so right there, we just typed in the number and the year with the expansion is from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh, well, not expansion. The basically the series is from Sun and Moon. We didn't even type in Unified Minds, but it came up. 242 full art Mewtwo GX secret. Okay. So now that we have the card selected, we're gonna pick the quantity of the card. We've only got one. So you're gonna leave that alone, or I'm gonna leave that alone at least. And then qualifiers, meaning if there's like there's this individual issue with the card, miscut has a mark, out of focus like blurry, print defect, something on it, staining, where like it has a stain that would affect the minimum standards for any grade, and an off center I think being the most common, where it's just super duper off center and they're not going to take that into effect. They're going to give it an OC label. All right, minimum grade means that you guys want to put this card really into like speculation or like the scrutiny of the grader. Basically what's going to happen is if you say, let's say minimum 9, basically what's going to happen is if this card does not get a 9 in the eyes of the grader, they're going to send it back to you out of a slab and you're going to end up paying for that service. So generally speaking, I just let my cards go, you know, like and get whatever grade they get and come back, because I've had an issue where I've sent a BLS one time and it came back not reaching the minimum grade even though it just came out of the pack, because I was shooting for a minimum grade 9, didn't get it for some reason, and it came back in the same top loader with just a sticker on it. Kind of pissed me off, so I just started leaving them as whatever. Declared value you're gonna have to fill out. In these scenarios, I like to just, you know, this is approximately 681 as a gem mint 10. So I think this is personally a 10. It's up to you to look at the card, but this card didn't have any issues when I looked at it initially. No spots of whitening, etc. Sending was really good. And you know, sometimes it's just better to use a higher declared value just in case, but like they will charge you more for insurance. Okay, it's totally dependent on you. And remember, if you try to pull some stuff like where it's like you're sending a base set first Charizard and you're saying, oh, it's only worth like 999, and you're doing, they're not stupid. They reserve the right to deny you service in that scenario. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna enter a declared value really quick of, we'll say we'll just say 650, and then we're gonna save. All right. So watch, it accepted the entry. It's gonna tell you one card in the service of regular, which is a fee of $50. Okay. So now let's do the second one. Okay. So now we've got, let's look up the other Mewtwo that we had. Okay. All right. So Shining Legends. Okay. I don't know why I loaded in a whole separate thing, but now we've got 2017 Pokemon Shining Legends. Right. What's the number? 76. Okay. So we're going to use that right now in our item entry. So 2017 Pokemon Shining Legends. What does it say? 76 out of 73, I think. Let's see. Okay, here we go. 76 full art Mewtwo GX secret. That is the one. Let's roll back to the value really quick. Somebody's selling a Gem 10 for 450. Obviously hasn't sold, but for those of you who need to actually look at potential comps, what you do is you go in the bottom left corner. Let's close that really quick, and you click sold items, and then it will filter this all into the best possible, grading. You guys look, this PSA 9 sold for 112. So you know what? I'm gonna go with like a 10 for like 350. 400. Let's go 400 just to be safe. 400. And basically now it's gonna tell you we've got 2 items entered, and each one with a service fee of 50. So our total is gonna be $100. All right. So this is any comments or questions or whatever you guys want to leave the people accepting the order. Generally, I leave it blank. All right, so we're gonna hit next, and it's going to shipping and billing. All right, so you guys are gonna end. You guys will leave this as insured shipping unless you have an alternative account, like a business account or maybe or something that you use with any of the shipping providers. All right, if you have a voucher to redeem any kind of credit or money. Otherwise, you're going to be paying with credit card, all right? So this is my stuff. I hope John blocks this out, please. Now, when you have all of this done, all right, you're going to make sure all of this is covered, all right? It's going to give you all your information. John, make sure you cover all of it. You're going to hit your red once you make sure everything is correct, okay? It's going to tell you your total declared value and then your total billed amount, okay? Hit next. All right, now this is the little tricky part, okay? So this part in general is going to tell you exactly how you need to submit the cards, okay? So I've got 6 card total with 3 orders, so 2 cards per order. But in this scenario, what I like to do is, you can always do it right here, but what I like to do is, right, because you need to include labels, etc., in the box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to go back to your submission dashboard. This is where you can see all of your current submissions, or you can start a new one. What we're going to do is we're going to hit package together on all 3, okay? So right here, you see it came up, generate label, okay? So this label is going to be onto the side of the box, all right, guys? So it's very important that you do see this. This is going to go on the outside of your box. I'll do it all together later for you guys. Let's go to my first submission. Then if you look at it, it'll tell you right here really quick. These are my 2 dark dragonite that you guys saw. All right. And what you guys should do before you print this, right? You have to do this right here. So the total number of orders included in this package. All right. It's going to be 3. So the total number of collectibles, it's going to be 6. So I have 3 orders, right? 3 orders, each with 2, meaning I have 6 collectibles here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to print this submission form with this, like this, okay? So this is the only change you have to make to this form, all right? That is the primary submission form that it needs. It's going to print all of this where it says PSA copy 1, PSA copy 2. You need to include both forms in there. All right. So this is very important, guys. You don't want to mess any of this up. All right. So we're going to print all of this really quick. Why is it doing that? What did I hit? Print submission ID, label, and form. Okay, here we go. No, actually, we just need form. Okay. Let's see. Yes, here we go. Copy 1, copy 2 with the list. So we're going to print that. My copy 1, copy 2, and then the 2 pages. And this is the one I'm going to keep for myself, all right? So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to have to redo the combined label, though, really quick. So now, let's go back to my dashboard and see if I can get a package label together. Create, okay, print. Well, I hope this doesn't come out mushed up again. All right, I'm back. So I've got my label for the outside of the box. I've got my order submission for the first one with the Dragonites, right? All right, so we're going to go into the second one right here, which is going to be my express submission. I want to see something really quick. Yeah, this is the same label that you'll get prior. So, we don't really need this label, but what matters is the form, because we only need the form. And I'm just going to double check that this is the Blaine Charizard and Rocket Scyther. That's correct. At 75 each per service, right? So 150. The total number of orders in this package is 3. The total number of collectibles collected is 6. All right, so it's got its own submission number, etc. So all we've got to do here is print just the form, okay? Just the form if you've already printed a combined label. All right, don't waste your ink and your paper. All right, so here we go. Then we're gonna go into our dashboard once more. All right, and we're gonna do the final form. All right, so we want form only again, and we need to put this in here. 3 orders with 6 collectibles are included in this package, okay? Very important that you guys do that. 6. You don't want any information to be missing so that there's no confusion, okay? Why is this so long? Let me just double check. Okay, proper. So we've got that one. Okay. So now all we need to do is print this final form, and I'm going to show you guys how to pack. All right. All right, guys. So I've got 3 different forms, okay? Now, let me just get it really organized really quick. So no customer copies are going in there, so make sure you guys take those out, okay? It's important that you do. Make sure that you have your package labels separate and ready to go. So what we're going to do is you want to make sure that everything is done by their instruction, okay? So the first thing that we're going to look at, okay? We're going to talk about how you set up your cards, okay? So what we have here is 2 different things aside from the card, or 3 different things, sorry. Obviously the card itself, which you do see on screen, front and back, very nice. You're going to want to put it into penny sleeve, which is this little plastic sleeve right here. You can get them on Amazon really cheap. I found them on Amazon really cheap. Then we're going to have a little tab, a sticky tab. This is something that people who don't want their card to potentially get damaged use. Right here, you just take the tab and you stick it so that when we do this, all right, this is called a semi-rigid holder. There's multiple brands. Preferably, I use Card Saver or Ultra Pro. I might have got this one somewhere else. You're going to slap this bad boy in there once the sticky tab is on it, and you leave it out. So what this does is it gives the person who is going to remove this card the opportunity to pull the card out without actually sticking their finger in there and, like, you know, bending it and potentially bruising it or denting it or something along those lines, all right? So you're going to want to get your cards in the order that you're going to be handling first. So we're going to be handling these Charizard and Scyther first. So I'm going to get that order form really quick, okay? So what you got here is the order for Blaine's Charizard and Rocket Scyther. So Blaine's Charizard is the first card in the order. So that means that card has to be on top, okay? This is very important. Do not mess this up. The cards have to appear in the order, like in physical order that matches the order. So I've got Blaine Charizard on top, all right, with Rocket Scyther on the bottom. So here it is. That's them, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 pieces of cardboard, okay? And that very important, you know, this is important when shipping. 2 pieces of cardboard, okay? Now, the order that I have here, the copies that they want, copy 1, copy 2, and then the item list, right? We're going to just fold it up, okay? Just like this. And we're just going to include it along with it like that, okay? So first things first, we just want to package this properly. 2 pieces of cardboard. When you get that done, what you're going to want to do is just tape up this bad boy really quick, all right? Let me get the tape for you guys so that we see what's going on. Tape. Gonna get some tape, and then we're gonna tape them in place so that they do not shift around in the box, okay? We're gonna do more things when we ship it, obviously, but this is just so that you guys see how I'm sending them off, all right? It's not really that hard, not really that big a deal. Generally, if you have it in a card saver, you're more than perfect with just the, oh man, that was really bad lining. Sorry guys. With just the sticky tab, penny sleeve, and card saver, right? So this is something that they ask you to do as well. It doesn't hurt to do, so I suggest that you do it. All right. I'm not gonna show you guys all of them, but I will just like implore you to please do it this same way. All right. So we've got the cards. We want to make sure cards are face up. You've got the order. Take that bad boy like that. You can even fold it up again. Doesn't matter. Fold it up again. And this part of our package is ready to go, okay? Just like that. That's it, okay? I'm actually going to be reusing one of the boxes that they've sent me. So here's the box. Nothing special, guys. Just literally a box, okay? I'll show you in a second. So this is all I literally did. Literally. Just put it in the box like that. Now, when they take it out, they'll see it in the order that you sent it. Guys, something that I do implore you guys to do is, like, if you have multiple orders, just rubber band this bad boy together. Like, put the paper over the cardboard that's pertinent to its order and just put it over there, rubber band it so they don't get too mixed up. Nights, okay? Same process, all right, guys? There's not much difference here, okay? So you're going to follow the same rule of thumb that I just gave you guys and complete that for the next two. Probably just speed this up a little bit. 2 Dark Dragonites. Order doesn't matter. Same card. We're going to put some tape over it or along the edges to hold it in place. All right. Cardboard just helps it maintain form, flat, which is important, obviously, for trading cards. I hope you understand that. That's why we're using the semi-rigid saver in the first place, right? Not a top loader. You don't want people to have to stick their hands in there, etc. They tell you send it in a top loader at your own risk. Okay, so like, if they tell you it's at your own risk, it's not something I'd want to personally do. All right. So, I think this is personally the best way to do what you need to get done. Bang. Number 2. And here it is form. I'm going to do that just like that. We're going to send it off in the box. All right. 2 orders in there now. All right. That's it. Now we're up to our third one. Okay. So what we need is the 2 Mewtwo's. We need tag team first. Okay. So tag team first being these 2 bad boys. Okay. What we're going to do is the same thing as we've done with the other 2. In cardboard. I like this bend, man. This bend, you see that bend? That bend is like brawl. Like, it's going to hold it in place like heck. So we're going to turn the bend in to make sure that it's not giving it any room if it was like bent the other way. Put some tape. All right. Make sure it lines up again. Put some more tape. Can't go wrong with tape. Heck, put it in duct tape. Piss the guy off a PSA. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You know what? Kind of revenge. You guys saw me opening that box before. That box sucks. That tape is super duper strong. It's like full on like cardboard duct tape. So I'm just gonna fold this little thing here. Get that tape on the other side. Just pull it over. All right. So here's our order form again. Here's the 2 cards. I'm gonna fold this bad boy up, half, and I'm only doing it this small because I'm reusing a box they sent me, and then that's it right there. Okay, so that's our 3 orders. All right, or 3 submissions in 1 package. Okay, so we've got all 3 packaged up right here. Sorry, the camera's so close. I would move it, but 3 packages or 3 submissions in 1 box. Okay, so now after you've done that, we're gonna close up our box. All right, box is closed, and the next most important thing is to close the box, is to keep the label that we generated before. All right, so I'm just closing up the box, everybody, and I'll show you that in a second. Let me just roll into the other camera. We're going to put this label on this box. Okay, so that is it is very important that you do that. It's imperative, especially since you guys we combined in order. That is not something we want to mess with. Missing that label, you know, anything to make these guys' life easier over at PSA, just do it. All right, nobody wants to have a hard time. We want to get our cards as fast as possible, the best like timely manner. Okay, so just do it. Okay, guys, trust me. All right, I got my stuff back pretty quick. I mean, it is a little pricey, but you know, the potential return is worth it. You want to obviously remove any old labels on the box, or if you have a new label, you could just throw it on. Guys, the shipping information is going to be, okay, whichever service you decide to use, that is the location you are going to ship to everybody. All right, so make sure you do write that down when you generate your shipping label, or when you go to the post office. That is, for me, I use USPS, United States Postal Service. This is the address right here that I'm going to be sending it to. Right? That's all you guys have to do. Okay? So, really quick, just the last thing that we need to do. All right, so this is where my label that I get from USPS would go. And what I'm going to do right now is just attach the exterior label that I was asked to print before. The one where I showed you how to combine orders, okay? So here's our little label that we need to attach. This is going to be the flat side of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to the side of the box right there. Obviously, I need some tape. Generally, one piece long enough, but I just did two for some reason. It's late. Leave me alone. So here we go. You know, that's all you need to do for the side label, and then you're going to put your front label on the top. All right, guys? So the last thing that I actually do that they actually stopped doing, and I don't know why, but as soon as I could find my Sharpie, which was just here, guys, I apologize for being so all over the place. The last thing that, you know, that we used to do was basically rewrite their highest service on the side of the box. So in this case, I've got Express. That's all I got to do. Write Express, okay? So those are the major things you need to know on how to ship. All right. I do hope that I did answer most of your questions. I'm sorry if it's seen a little all over the place, but this actually took me less than like, I think 20 minutes to get it together. You know, it wasn't so bad. All right. So I'm going to show you guys really quick what it looks like. Imagine that this right here would be the front label. This would be the side with our shipping label with the order information, and we write the service time on the side right here, all right? Again, this is just for PSA. I personally choose PSA. I do hope you guys found this video very informative. I hope it did help you. I'm sorry about all the little cuts and snips in between, but I was fixing things along the way. And if you guys did like this video, you know, basically how to submit your cards, how to grade your cards, how to double your investment in Pokemon cards, please do give me a thumbs up, destroy the like button, and subscribe to the channel. You know, this is just one of my very first how-to, so I'm kind of learning with it. But I hope that a lot of information was relayed to you guys. That was the goal, all right? So make sure you guys do tune in for tomorrow's stream. 1,000 subscribers special. We're going to have a lot of giveaways, a lot of prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun, just like last week, which was like nearly 4 hours. We're just going to try to keep it shorter. All right, we're going to be opening up Shiny Star V. We're going to be opening up XY Evolutions. A lot of different things. Oh, and Burning Shadows. We're going to be chasing all those Charizards again. All right, guys? So I really do hope this helps you. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow in the stream. All right? So until tomorrow, Kiwi out.